Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the grand celebration of the ASEAN Youth Volunteer Program. I am Muhammad Nazrin bin Muhammad, ASEAN Youth Heritage Leader from Malaysia.
And I am Nazira Muhammad, ASEAN Youth Heritage Leader from Singapore. We are your MCs for this afternoon. Before we proceed, we would like to invite everyone to rise for the singing of the Malaysian national anthem, Negara Aku, followed by the ASEAN anthem, ASEAN Way.
Of Al-Fatiha, the opening prayer. We invite all those from other faiths to also say their prayers.
إلى حضرة النبي المصطفى سيدنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه وتابعي التابعين وتابعيهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين والأنبياء والأولياء والمرسلين ولجميع المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات وخصوصا في هذه المجلس sempena the grand celebration of the development of ASEAN Youth Heritage Leaders through volunteerism and community engagement. Al-Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين.
Thank you, Siraj, for the beautiful recitation. Now, to share with us a little bit about the ASEAN Youth Volunteer Program, we would like to call upon Professor Datuk Dr. Saran Korgil, Executive Director of the ASEAN Youth Volunteer Program, for the introductory remarks.
Thank you very much. Do you know what their names are? Nazreen and Nazira. Malaysian, Singaporean. Yang berbahagia, Dr. Junaida Lee Abdullah, Deputy Secretary General, Ministry of Tourism and Culture, Malaysia. Thank you very much for being here. Mr. Pensamon, Second Secretary, Embassy of Cambodia, Malaysia. Professor Dr. Noor Azlan Ghazali, the Vice Chancellor of UKM. And it gives me extra special honor and privilege to introduce Professor Dr. Imran Ho Abdullah, the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Industry and Community Partnerships. Congratulations. This is his first day at work as Deputy Vice Chancellor. And the first major international event. And Yang Bahagia Prof. Datin Dr. Noor Azia Muhammad Awal, Deputy Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs and Alumni. And we have with us Puan Asmahan, who now used to be known as Pendaftar, Registrar, but now is the Chief Executive in charge of administration. Distinguished guests, would you bear with me if I introduce a few other key people? I think it's important for everyone to know who they are and where they are. From the United States Agency for International Development, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to all of you, Jennifer Wilson and Catherine. Great partners of the ASEAN Youth Volunteer Program. And we have Mr. Mitsugi Hiroto from the Japanese International Cooperation Agency. And very importantly, from the Ministry of Youth and Sports, we have Inche Effendi. And from the Ministry of Culture and Tourism as well, a number of officers sitting here. Welcome, Diane. Yes. And I'd like to move on to partners at the sites. One of the sites for this program was the Malacca World Heritage Site. And we're very privileged that we have Inche Rosli with us. Thank you very much, Inche Rosli, for being here. Yeah. And from Universiti Malaya, who is our other partner on this program, we have Puan Sri Nila here with us. And her Angie as well as Indra. Thank you for being here. I think I've covered everybody. And most important of all, we have wonderful students who will enjoy this afternoon. Dato, I must share with you from the colleges. Look at the hall, it's full. Right? Datin. College Ibu Zain, all the different colleges. Clap or stand up, all the students, also from Permata Pinta. Well done. Thank you for coming. Enjoy yourself. Welcome to the grand celebration of the second ASEAN Youth Volunteer Program. It's titled ASEAN Youth Heritage Leaders Through Volunteerism and Community Engagement. Because this year, the thematic area is on the preservation of cultural heritage. So we would like to thank the Ministry of Culture and Tourism for their support on this, and also the ASEAN Secretariat. Kayan was supposed to be here with us, and he was a great proponent and a supporter of this program, but he's not able to be here today. But he was with us in the first week of the program. He spent quite a bit of time with us in the first week, so we can understand that he's not able to be here with us, but we really appreciate it. Last year, we worked on the theme of the environment. Each time we have the program, we have a different thematic area. There are 7 thematic areas altogether. So we had the environment last year, and for that, it was the development of ASEAN youth eco-leaders. And we had in that program 100 youth from across ASEAN. I'm actually selling this to the UKM students, hoping that more would actually apply the next time that we have this program. We had good representation this year, but we want to encourage more to apply. This year, it is on the preservation of heritage. And then next year, we are going to move on to Cambodia, where we will have again the replication of the program that focuses on the environment, ASEAN Youth Eco-Leaders. So you can apply for it to go and spend 5 weeks in Cambodia. We have with us 50 lovely youth from all the 10 ASEAN countries. Can you clap for them? All seated there. They have had 5 weeks on this program. I'll just take you a little bit into the program so you understand the modality, and you will hear more from the volunteers themselves. When we had to develop the program, as educators, we instinctively felt that it was necessary to have a clear system and structure so that if we needed to replicate it, we could replicate it across the region, and work on different thematic areas and just maybe adjust the modules. It's also time-consuming, and reach out to new partners. So the first week is spent in UKM, given that we are the host university, and for that I'd really like to thank the Dato Azlan for his support of the program. And in that first week, the volunteers are exposed to orientation on the ASEAN-ness, what ASEAN history is all about, ASEAN awareness, and ASEAN culture and ASEAN identity, because the whole program is hinged on ASEAN. And it's interesting. I've received, and particularly from this program, a few volunteers who've come up to me and said, we've been educated abroad, or most of our exposure is via American television or British television. And that's where we get most of our, sometimes even values. But for the first time, being part of a program of this nature, we start to appreciate what it means to be a part of this part of the world, what it means to be ASEAN, and realize the importance of having roots in this part of the world. And I think that is what we need to develop for all the youth across ASEAN, including Malaysia as well. Like if I were to ask you, you're sitting here, do you know what ASEAN is? Do you feel ASEAN? You feel ASEAN? Oh, that's good. That's good if they feel ASEAN. Maybe Datin or Asia has been doing something with you that I don't know about. Okay. So then the second, third, and fourth week, they went to two heritage sites, which is Kuala Lumpur, where our partners were Universiti Malaya, and to the Malacca Heritage Site as well, Malacca UNESCO Heritage Site. So that's where they apply all that they've learned in the first week and in the second week on the ground. Because if you wanted youth to get to know each other and to be able to learn how to work across cultures and to face the challenges, there's nothing like putting them into projects that require them to really achieve objectives. Then you will see personalities coming up, problems coming up, issues coming up, but it's all part of it. They learn how to work with each other. Then the final week, they come back again to UKM because, they have had different experiences at the different kampongs. They will share that with you this afternoon. And they will prepare reports, work on their presentations, share all of that with each other. It's not an easy program. It's a very serious program. And then they prepare for the grand celebration where all of you are here this afternoon. And it's going to be a blast. So I don't think I'll say anything anymore because they will be able to say more, and I'll leave it to you. Thank you very much for the opportunity of the introductory remarks.
Thank you again, Prof. Saran. The success of the ASEAN Youth Volunteer Program would not have been possible without the leadership of Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia. With that, we would like to next invite Yang Berbahagia, Professor Datuk Dr. Noor Azlan Ghazali, Vice Chancellor of UKM, to give his welcoming speech.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And very good afternoon. Yang berbahagia Dr. Junaida Lee Abdullah, Deputy Secretary General, Ministry of Tourism and Culture Malaysia, Mr. Pen Samun, Second Secretary, Embassy of Cambodia, Malaysia, Professor Dr. Imran Ho Abdullah, Deputy Vice Chancellor of Industry and Community Partnerships, whom Professor Datuk Saran mentioned just now, is taking over from Datuk Saran's responsibility that ends very recently. But I will talk about Datuk Saran shortly. So let me just first greet everyone first. Professor Datin Dr. Nur Aziah Muhammad Awal, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Student Affairs and Alumni, Professor Datuk Dr. Saran Kaur Gil, Executive Director, AYVP at Asia Engage, distinguished guests, senior officers, staffs, and students, and ASEAN Youth Heritage leaders. Quite a long list of names here. Well, first of all, let me welcome all of you to the Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia. And welcome to the grand celebration of the ASEAN Youth Volunteer Program. As the National University of Malaysia, UKM is committed to its mandate as the guardians of the nations. That's how we normally call ourselves. We are the guardians of this nation because the establishment of the university is very much resting on the aspirations of the nation to see a university, a national university being established. We put a premium on developing social value from knowledge so that it can ultimately benefit communities in need and the society at large. We strive to produce competent young leaders in research, innovation, technology, and development. In this light, UKM also pays much regard to the internationalization and cross-border sharing of knowledge, especially among our neighbors. As the establishment of the ASEAN community approaches, envisioned to be established by 31st December 2015, all layers of society need to be engaged in the development of our ASEAN political security community, our ASEAN economic community, and also our ASEAN socio-cultural community. Key for these are all the youth that are participating in this program, because youth making up about 28% of the ASEAN population as of today. Indeed, new generations always bring about innovation. In its role as educational institution, UKM is ever committed in providing platforms for young people to channel their energies and creativities toward the betterment of the society. The ASEAN Youth Volunteer Program is one platform where ASEAN youth can discover our shared regional identity and work with communities to develop innovative solutions to their pressing social, cultural, environmental, and economic problems. So I strongly believe that it is on this ground that UKM, under the leadership of Prof. Datuk Saran, is embarking and taking this AYVP as a very serious part of our journey. And in fact, this is, I would consider as one of the flagship programs for UKM. When Datuk Saran asked many of you how many really knows ASEAN, feel ASEAN, think ASEAN, that is actually a very challenging question to many of us today. Out of being very focused in what we want to achieve, every one of us has our own personal goals and ambitions, things that we are looking for by being students especially. At times, sometimes we tend to forget and we tend to miss out what is that built us together. And I strongly believe that the ASEAN Youth Volunteer Program will be able to address this. It is so nice to see that so many of you, especially the participants, are putting on your national costumes. And I'm sure that we will be entertained by a very, as Datuk Saran said just now, blasting kind of performance. So we are looking for that shortly. To our young volunteers, we look forward to witnessing your demonstrate leadership in your own spheres of influence. We are proud of you and what you have shared with us in these programs. The bigger task at hand is how you will continue to respond to this vital and critical role of developing and shaping the ASEAN socio-cultural community. To students of UKM, many of you are invited to join us this afternoon. For our guests, for your information, our session for 2014 and 2015 just started this week. So for about a week, I personally myself been meeting all the new students. We just received about 3,500 new students. And we make a challenge to them. We basically put up the challenge that, for them to be successfully graduated from this higher education institution, they have to give more than what is required on them. Truly, I think to many first-year students, especially second-year and also third-year students, when I'm standing up in front of them, normally they cannot recall my name. But they can recall one thing, which is what we call the red umbrella. Can I see hands? How many of you remember the red umbrella? Okay, there you are. You don't have to remember me, but please remember the red umbrella. Because what we are trying to persuade them, what we are trying to convey to our students, is that whenever they enter a university like UKM, they have about 3 years or so to really make themselves to be very unique, to make themselves to carry values with them. And merely attending courses, attending the standard curriculums at classes is not sufficient. My quick calculation last time, during the first year when I met the students, I mentioned that my quick calculation is that by the time you will be graduating, there will be 100,000 students who are just like you entering the market. So the challenge is that, why should you be the one chosen by employers, or why should you be the one? So in order for you to justify that, these kind of activities are very critical. I have to congratulate the 50 participants because you already get the umbrella that I'm looking for. Because by participating in such programs that full of very valuable experience, very unique in terms of its design. I remember that last time, Datuk Saran, when we have the Eco Youth Leader, and then now we have Heritage Youth Leader, you are exposing yourself and putting yourself in a totally new territory. Everybody that attended universities will know how, basically what are the requirements in classroom, requirements in all your courses and so on. But those are standard. But working in such environment, working with across cultures, working in basically the environment which is off campus, dealing with the real things out there, interacting with the communities is something that you will never be able to learn in the classroom. So to the extent that many of our students here are, those in the first year or the second year or the third year students, now I can assure that at least 90% of undergraduates in UKM are being challenged by the red umbrella kind of demands. So please make sure that that umbrella of yours is really becoming red by the time you go on stage to receive your scroll. So congratulations to all of you. Before I end, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to all partners who had the foresight to entrust UKM in embarking in this project. We would not have been able to do it without the support, contribution, and encouragement from all of you. Our gratitude to the Ministry of Tourism and Culture Malaysia, give a clap for the ministry, and the ASEAN Secretariat for funding this year's program, as well as to our strategic partners, Ministry of Youth and Sports Malaysia, Ministry of Education Malaysia, and USAID that have been with us in this journey of ours. We also would like to thank our valued local partners who have committed their expertise and resources in turning this into a successful program. This is the Faculty of Built Environment, University of Malaya, Kuala Lumpur City Council, Museum Volunteers, Malacca World Heritage Office, Department of National Heritage, and the Malacca State Council. Thank you also for the utmost cooperation of our local communities in Petaling Street, Kampung Baru, Brickfields, the Temple of Fine Arts, Kaki Jelajah Warisan, Baba Nyonya Village, Kampung Chetty, Kampung Balik Bukit, Kampung Moten, Kampung Duyung, Cheng Ho Tea House, Jonker Walk, Artisans, and Malacca High School. Wow. What a long list of partners that we have in this program. Now I come to a very important part of my speech. Well, to us, many of us aware that Professor Dr. Saran is ending her long term as the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Community and Industrial Partnership. But this event, to me, without we really plan for it, is truly a demonstration of the commitment and such a hard work given by Prof. Datuk Saran. Thank you very much, Datuk Saran. If I read it quickly, I have more than 20 partners. You know, I mean, that is truly, actually, what else that I can ask from a Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge for this kind of engagement? You have bring it to UKM. We have such a great partners. I mean, when I count all those logos out there, it was about 11. But when I start to read all the kampungs and the villages, actually it's more than 20. This is what university is all about. And I strongly believe that this is what Datuk Saran basically have in mind. And while Datuk Saran will no longer be in the office, but I make sure that, you know, I keep on telling Datuk Saran, your leadership support, your guidance, all the treasured experience in Datuk Saran will definitely, of course, will be with her, but is an asset to UKM. So I would like to take this opportunity to request all of you to stand up and to pay tribute to Datuk Saran for serving 7 years as the Deputy Vice Chancellor. Thank you very much, Datuk Saran. Just, you know, I know this is not enough, definitely, but I know that I have a limit in my time as well. And also we welcome Professor Imran Ho. The challenge is tough for you to break the list. So next year I'll be reading again all the appreciation. So I hope there will be 4 paragraphs of appreciation. So thank you very much again, and I look forward to meet all of you again, and to our youth volunteers, congratulations. I hope you have a very good experience and a good stay in UKM. I know there are challenges on our campus as well. At times we don't have a water supply. So please, well, enjoy that anyway. That is part of a learning in our life. And we wish you the best. Safe trip back home. And please, once you are UKM forever. So thank you very much. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Datuk Nur Azlan. Now, we would like to move on by sharing with you the videos that we have produced during this 5-week program. The two main sites for the ASEAN Youth Heritage Leaders Program were Kuala Lumpur and Malacca UNESCO World Heritage City. We were divided into 3 groups, and each group experienced 2 sub-sites, which were ethnically based. The video that you will be introduced to revolves around the Indian community and is from brickfields in Kuala Lumpur and Kampung Chetty in Malacca. Well, I was actually part of this group, and aside from what you will see in this video, we had some very intimate conversations with the elders about the pressing concerns pertaining heritage and culture. Now let's all watch the video.
Okay. Go to that. Okay.
That was the video from Team Brickfields and Kampong Cheti. To proceed, we'd like to invite our fellow ASEAN Youth Heritage Leader, Chip Putika from Cambodia, to tell us about his plans for the AYVP multiplier effect.
My name is Chip Putika from Cambodia. So I'm the ASEAN Youth Heritage Leaders. Okay. So it is my pleasure to be here on behalf of my ASEAN Youth Heritage Leaders to talk about what is going to happen after this program. So it's more than a privilege to be able to join this ASEAN Heritage Volunteer Program. As what has already been mentioned, during this 5-week program, our knowledge about ASEAN heritage and the spirit of volunteerism has been upgraded so far. So our sense of ASEANness has been strongly promoted in ourselves. Our volunteerism spirit has been strengthened. However, an important aspect of this program is for us to demonstrate ourselves, our leadership, by sharing our knowledge and experiences with those who were not selected back in their own country. If I'm not wrong, there were 1,400 youth in ASEAN who applied for this program, but only 50 of us got selected to be here. And there are 100, okay, thank you. And there are more than 100 Cambodian applicants who applied for this program too, but only 4 of us got the privilege to be here. So, thank you. So when we return back to our home country, we are committed to share our knowledge and experiences with those who do not have chance to be here, and we are going to implement the project in order to help our communities back in our own country. So let's come to my project plan that I'm going to implement when I'm back to my country, Cambodia. So 5 years ago, when I was in I visited Phnom Chiso Temple, which lies on the top of the mountain, which is 2 hours away from Phnom Penh City, the capital city of Cambodia. So I realized that the garbage disposal was a big problem, and the situation right now is still the same. So the local people selling food, drinks, souvenirs, and stuff do not care much about the environment around the temple. So tourists coming in hardly find the rubbish bin in order to throw the rubbish. So the beauty of the site is lessened. So the benefit that gained from the tourism is not really promising to the local people at all. So more than that, they don't even know that they are part of ASEAN community. They don't even know that ASEAN economic community is going to be integrated in 2015. So my project is run in order to help raise the awareness about the cultural heritage, the environment, and the importance among local people so that they can feel the sense of belonging and the pride toward the heritage and start to take action in order to help conserve the heritage site itself. And one more thing, I want to promote the ASEANness within youth and local community in my country. The other one is to promote volunteerism among youth, and especially those who study in the university. So therefore, after the project is successfully done, I hope that people will feel a sense of pride and belonging toward their own heritage and start to take action to take care of the temple, since it is their own identity. So after that, tourism's gonna be like, help them generate more income for them. So moreover, the ASEAN awareness will be also promoted so they don't have to feel isolated anymore. I believe that in order to run a project successfully, we need to get through many challenges. Despite those challenges, I believe what I have gained from this program, along with the commitment and passion to take care of the heritage and to preserve the cultural heritage and to promote volunteerism among youth in ASEAN, the project will be successfully run and then be sustainable. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Putika. Another group of ours was tasked with exploring the Malay community in Kuala Lumpur and Malacca. In Kuala Lumpur, they documented the tangible heritage of Kampung Baru, and in Malacca, they immersed themselves into the tangible and intangible heritage of Kampung Morton and Kampung Balik Bukit, Bukit Lintang. Let's all watch the video together. on, to give us an insight into some of the core messages that we have obtained from the program, we would like to call to the podium another fellow ASEAN Youth Heritage leader, Roxanne Tan from Malaysia, to deliver a speech titled, Learning the True Meaning of Volunteerism and Leadership.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Roxanne, ASEAN Youth Heritage leader from Malaysia. Being here in this program allowed me an opportunity to work alongside people coming from various cultural backgrounds. Perhaps due to the diversity, everyone believes in different methods of working things out. Some may also have different definitions of leadership and volunteerism. Throughout the duration of this program, we have had a lot of miscommunications, and there have also been numerous complaints coming from volunteers of various nationalities. I have had my own share of complaints too. People are difficult to satisfy, and despite the efforts the organizers and facilitators put in, there would still be someone complaining about something. At some point, some of us began to question our tendency to blame everything except ourselves. We have focused so much energy on our situation that we forgot our main purpose of being here. I asked myself, why am I here for this program? What is the main purpose of this program? The program is titled ASEAN Youth Heritage Leaders Through Volunteerism and Community Engagement. Almost like a mother's constant gentle reminder, the name tells us the core purpose of this program is to lead and serve through volunteerism. I observed the way fellow participants worked, and I noticed how leadership and the spirit of volunteerism shone differently through the fellow participants. I noticed how leadership can receive negative responses, while it can sometimes gain admiration and respect. I realized that leadership does not have to be done through commands. One can lead others without ordering people around. I believe that through leadership and volunteerism, we can work together in peace, be willing to endure adverse situations, and serve others without murmuring. While it isn't easy to achieve this, I believe that by keeping this in mind, volunteerism and leadership can be extended to the various communities across ASEAN. Many times, we had to work together in perfect harmony, whether it was going into the various communities in KL or Malacca, or dancing in a group of 50 people. Getting such a big group of people to work in sync with one another posed as a great challenge to us. This has taught us that being able to work with one another is a challenge that we have to work together to overcome. The sense of togetherness is solidified when we work together to pull through the various stressful moments, or when we had to work under the scorching sun in the hottest times of the day. These moments of solidarity will be forever etched in our hearts. We all leave now with an understanding of what ASEAN is, what our roles are, and a stronger sense of the ASEAN identity. Thank you.
Thank you, Roxanne, for that wonderful speech. At this point, we would also like to express our gratitude for Mr. Nguyen Kayan, Assistant Director, Culture and Information Division of the ASEAN Secretariat, for supporting and co-sponsoring this program. Unfortunately, he is unable to be with us here today. We would also now like to invite Dr. Junaida Lee Abdullah, Deputy Secretary General of the Ministry of Tourism and Culture, to deliver a speech on behalf of Yang Berbahagia, Datuk Seri Muhammad Nazri Abdul Aziz, Minister of Tourism and Culture, Malaysia.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Professor Yang Bahagia Profesor Datuk Dr. Noor Aslan Ghazali, Vice Chancellor, Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia. Oh, we have all this thing, yeah? Professor Dr. Imran Ho bin Abdullah, Deputy Vice Chancellor of Industry and Community Partnerships. Yang Bahagia Professor Datin Dr. Noor Azia Muhammad Awal, Deputy Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs and Alumni. Professor Datuk Dr. Sarang Kos Jill, Executive Director of AYVP at the ASEAN Engage, and Mr. Pansamon, Second Secretary, Embassy of Cambodia, Malaysia, Puan Asmahan Musa, Management Secretary, Management Executive, members of University Management, senior officials and staff and students, and ASEAN Youth Heritage leaders, distinguished guests. So, selamat datang dan selamat petang. Welcome to Malaysia. First of all, I would like to convey the warm wishes and apologies from Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri Muhammad Nazri Abdul Aziz, Minister of Tourism and Culture Malaysia, who is unable to attend this special event as he is away on an overseas mission. He has asked me to attend and deliver his speech on his behalf, which I shall now read. I wish to thank the ASEAN Secretariat and Universiti, Kebangsaan Malaysia, for inviting me to the grand celebration of the ASEAN Youth Volunteer Program. The Ministry of Tourism and Culture Malaysia is indeed delighted to support the ASEAN Youth Volunteer Program this year based on the theme Protecting ASEAN's Heritage, which involves the development of ASEAN youth heritage leaders through volunteerism and community engagement. I understand there were 996 applications received from ASEAN countries, including 22 from Malaysia, and only 50 have been selected to attend this program from 11 August to 15 September 2014. I congratulate all the 15 ASEAN youth heritage leaders who have been selected, each representing one of the 10 ASEAN member states. Your participation in this program will give you a better understanding of the history and tradition of ASEAN member states. You would learn and appreciate the efforts and initiatives towards heritage conservation and protection. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you will use this great opportunity to learn, share, and discuss with each other on what has been done in your country and to come up with observations and recommendations for ASEAN member states to consider in heritage conservation in the future. For those representing Malaysia, I call upon you to be our good host and ambassador and take every opportunity to show our warm hospitality so that your fellow ASEAN youth heritage leaders would have a very good impression of Malaysia and her people. This is important as last year we received 25.7 million international arrivals, of which 74.3% or 19.1 million are from our ASEAN member state, with the most number of arrivals from Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand, and Brunei Darussalam, and increasing arrivals from Cambodia, Philippines, and Myanmar. Ladies and gentlemen, in Malaysia, heritage activities are mainly carried out by the National Heritage Department, the National Archives, and the National Museum, with focus on preservation and restoration of tangible and intangible heritage. Tangible heritage includes the historical sites of Penang and Malacca, which have attained UNESCO World Heritage status. Archaeological sites, such as Lembah Bujang, monuments and buildings like our famous Bangunan Abdul Samad building in Kuala Lumpur, movable artifacts assemble the crests, textiles, gravestone paintings, and the traditional craft. The Tunku Abdul Rahman Memorial and the Tun Abdul Razak Memorial are examples of repositories for artifacts beside the National Museum. In terms of museum visitors, we recorded 2.76 million last year, which indicates visitors' interest in our heritage. Ladies and gentlemen, intangible heritage covers all kinds of knowledge and practices about the natural world, such as custom, ceremonies, rites and festivals, and oral traditions, speech and language. In Malaysia, we are taking steps to revive legacy which are almost extinct, such as the usage of archaic language, for example, pepatah, which is maxim, gurindam, poems, seloka, couplets or quatrains, and as well as to preserve performing arts, which have become absolute, such as the wayang kulit, shadow play, makyung, the Malay dance drama, and Mai Putri, the shamanistic healing performances. Ladies and gentlemen, Malaysia also has a rich culinary heritage given the multicultural diversity of our people. So far, we have designated 151 types of food as national heritage. food. This includes the nasi lemak, nasi kunyit, we call it the turmeric rice, nasi tumpang, nasi lengundi and lemuni, bobo anak lebah, and many others. You can get to try them while you are here in Malaysia with your fellow Malaysian youth heritage leaders. I also wish to inform ladies and gentlemen that we have a One Malaysia volunteerism program. Volunteerism comes from the combination of the words volunteer and tourism, which generally means performing activities on a voluntary basis in a relaxed atmosphere for the purpose of preserving heritage and keeping the environment clean and green, especially in tourism spots. This program was formulated under the National Blue Ocean Strategy Initiative. Under this One Malaysia volunteerism program, we have 5 activities that volunteers can choose to participate, namely as follows. One Malaysia Culture and Heritage, which is to encourage the involvement of volunteers in the promotion and conservation of cultural and heritage activities. 2, One Malaysia Green and One Malaysia Clean, where volunteers participate through various activities including cleaning up, planting trees, and repainting or maintaining tourism facilities. One Malaysia Volunteering, where volunteers share their knowledge and skills with industry players, including the rural communities, such as homestay operators, for skills and capacity development. One Malaysia Volunteering, where volunteers share their holiday experiences and volunteering activities at tourism destinations through social media, such as the Facebook, Twitter, and blogs. And One Malaysia event, where volunteers assist in organizing of national tourism and cultural events. Ladies and gentlemen, since this initiative was first introduced in September 2012, a total of 195 activities have been successfully carried out, involving 40,200 volunteers of various nationalities and age group, with the majority being youth. This year being Malaysia's 4th Visit Malaysia year, with the theme celebrating One Malaysia Truly Asia, or VMY in short, has hundreds of events and festivals lined up for the world to experience throughout the year. Your visit here is indeed timely. We just had our Mid-Autumn Festival, where we have the Mooncake and the Lantern Festival. I hope the youth leaders managed to get a sample of Malaysia's varieties of mooncakes in traditional flavors and infusion taste. I'm also confident that the ASEAN Youth Volunteer Program will serve as a good platform for youth to take part in the development of an ASEAN identity and spirit. To the 50 ASEAN Youth Heritage Leaders, I wish you a fruitful and memorable stay in Malaysia, and hope you will bring home all the amazing experiences you have learned to benefit your respective communities. Next year, we look forward to Malaysia's chairmanship of ASEAN Summit and to a more vibrant ASEAN social cultural community, where we will visit each other more often and choose ASEAN destination as our preferred holiday destination. This will accelerate the growth of visitor arrivals and receipts for all ASEAN member states and further boost the ASEAN's economy. Ladies and gentlemen, lastly, congratulations once again to the ASEAN Secretariat and Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia for the successful organization of the ASEAN Youth Volunteerism Program. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Junaida. Can we have another round of applause, please? Thank you. For the last video from the group that I was in, we were assigned to Petaling Street, also known as the Chinatown of Kuala Lumpur. There, we met with second and third generation vendors and also discovered that Chinatown has become more diverse than just Chinatown. In Malacca, we explored Jonker Street and the Baba Nyonya community. We learned from experienced craftsmen and interacted with the Baba Nyonya community there. Let's watch the video.
Petaling Street is not just for flea markets. It's also Kuala Lumpur's Chinatown and one of its oldest communities. Discover who's striving to keep its heritage alive.
We apologize for the technical difficulty. We'll resume in a bit.
Sure, Malacca's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but its built heritage is not the only thing worth preserving. Know and support the masters of its traditional trades.
Coming from 10 different countries, we gradually learned during the 5 weeks together that we were different yet similar. As we rejoiced in the little things that we share in common, we also celebrated the differences as we realized that they in fact added dimensions to the diversity of our ASEAN community.
In ASEAN, we have a rich history of different yet interconnected cultures. To showcase this, our heritage leaders have come together to bring you the ASEAN Dance Medley. The ASEAN Dance Medley is a combination of dances, each performed by our youth heritage leaders from across the region, and were taught by those from the respective countries. We present Joget from Malaysia.
Di harap palasa
Next, we present to you the Moon Love Dance from Cambodia.
Chan ơi ráng plư to chong vòng chan phố phong ép ong bông plư lô ca ráng mây sro ton chiết nia ban sóc san ơi miền chan cùng sbai cài túc rót ngày.
Such grace, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, we'll have Tarian Kerasi Nusantara, or the Nusantara Dance, from Indonesia.
Ayo rek, laku-laku nanggung cinta. Rek, ayo rek, rame-rame bebarengan. Cak, ayo cak, songkok belum melu waktu. Cak, ayo cak, goreng kenalan cak ayu. Ngalami kelewat tolong kamu masih yang mungkin jangan hati Sokonya nasib awak lagi muncul. Kenal anak ini betul jadi Sik Sik Sibatumanikam di Various-Joget Serampang Laut di Bangi si Bambang Dadali. Sik Sik Sibatumanikam di Various-Joget Serampang Laut di Bangi si Bambang Dadali. Asik nasi bidang di Armada. Kalau masih berenang, masih tulisan dibayar.
Next up, Hello Vietnam.
mother's name that is difficult to say. It was given me the day I was born. Want to know about the stories of the empire of old? My eyes say more of me than what you dare to say. All I know of you is all the sides of war. A film by Coppola, the helicopters roar. One day I'll touch your soul. One day I'll finally know your soul. One day I'll come to you to say hello, Vietnam. Tell me all about my color, my hair, and my little feet that have carried me every mile of the way. Want to see your house, your streets, show me all I do not know. Wooden sampans, floating markets, light of gold. All I know of you is the sides of war. A film by Coppola, the helicopters roar. One day I'll touch your soil. One day I'll finally know your soul. One day I'll come to you to say hello, Vietnam.
Just to give you a little bit of background about that dance, because you'll be wondering how come it is a Vietnamese dance with English lyrics. It was composed by a Vietnamese girl who was born in Belgium. And then she started rediscovering her love and her ethnicity for Vietnam, which she never ever experienced while growing up. So the lyrics that you saw just now were her feelings towards her country as she was growing up. I wanted to share that with you.
And now, finally, our finale piece, which showcases everyone all together, is the Malaysian Dikir Barat, a sitting dance accompanied by synchronized movements and clappings.
As a finale, all of us will be singing the ASEAN song titled Song of Unity, an acknowledgement of our diverse identities, but an embracement of the fact that we carry a united vision for our region.
Throughout these years, we have resolved, working hard together for a true community.
You see how rich our culture is and how beautiful it is when we come together. Please give them another round of applause. And me, thank you. Now to proceed, may we invite our honored guest to take a group photo with all the participants, please.
Accompanied by the Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Industry and Community Partnerships, Professor Imran Ho, and Professor Datuk Dr. Saran Korgil, to present tokens of appreciation to Yang Berbahagia Dr. Junaida Lee Abdullah, Deputy Secretary General of the Ministry of Tourism and Culture.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are unfortunately approaching the end of this grand celebration. But before we end, we would like to congratulate once again to all of the ASEAN Youth Heritage leaders for having completed this 5-week journey of learning, sharing, and discovering what it means to be ASEAN. And we would like to also thank all of you for being here with us to share this journey with us today.
And with that, we'd like to end on a quote by Thomas Campbell, Like branches on a tree, we grow in different directions, yet our roots remain as one. Each of our lives will always be a special part of the other. Thank you.
Thank you.